Hey students, this is Mrs. Herrick trying to show you how I'm working with stearic acid. I've got about 10 grams in each of these test tubes, and we already heated it up, and it was a solid originally, but then I heated it up here, and now it's all a liquid. And I'm just going to do a quick video to show how what it's going to do with its temperature as it cools down. So I really wanted to be sure it was at a high temperature. I'm just got it here. I'm warming up the hot plate. It's not quite boiling water, but it's pretty warm water. I was recording it earlier and had to figure out how to work on this program with the computer program I'm using. Okay, so now it's heating, and I have it over here with this computer set up, and I've got it recording with temperature here, temperature versus time, and I've got it all going here. The program is working. I've got it under temperature. My temperature right now is recording at 88 degrees. I've had it kind of up here around 90, just kind of getting it so it's warm, and I was going to let it cool down, and we're going to watch it record here so you can see, possibly see as it cools down and as it freezes, and not freeze because ice freezes, but it's going to go to being a solid. And I wanted to record that for you in case I can't do it well, and show it really large on the TV screen in the room. So I'm recording it just in case. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and taking it from here. It's around 80 some degrees, but I'm over here and it is kind of warm, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out and then let it just cool down in the air, taking it out of the water and putting it in the speaker and letting it cool down. And then we're going to be watching it and seeing as it cools down, what is going on with the phase change. So here I have it showing it's cooling down, and I have this going down. It was right about 80 or 90 starting, and now I cooled it down, and we're just going to watch it go down, and as it cools down, and eventually it's going to turn back to the test tube of being a solid. Right now it's a liquid. And we're going to see what happens for it to go back to becoming a solid, and at the same time record what the temperature's doing as a live experiment. Okay, so I'm going to try to put this here so you can see this changing at the same time that the temperature's going down. So sorry, it's getting kind of cloudy. Yeah, now it's kind of clear, and now it's a little bit below 70 degrees. In the 60s, it's cooling down into the 60s. So it's similar to what we were doing earlier. This up top is just really warm, of being stearic acid. It wasn't doing any kind of phase change at the top. It's just cooling down now and going from a liquid, and it's still a liquid as we can see here. It's still a liquid, but we're trying to see what happens as it cools down, and as it goes to becoming a solid like this. Are we going to see this constant temperature like I've showed you on the graphs? So let's just keep watching here. You actually, no, I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually some maybe white stuff forming right here. It is cooling down to a solid down here. So that means it's getting cooler, so part of it is turning into a solid. Let's just watch this happen here. See what we can find as it's cooling down. Just going to move the thermometer a little bit. That's me moving it right there, so it's a little bit of a jarred. It's all exciting watching a computer, but it is recording still. The temperature is right about 60 degrees, crossing over this 60-degree line right here. Sorry, I moved my phone a little bit. Let's see what happens. It is cooling some more, and you actually can see more of the solid. So part of it is turning into a solid. It just hasn't always fully solid yet. So we're going to keep watching it. Sorry for my phone getting blurry. It's getting clear. Now it's about 57 degrees. Move it over here to the test tube. You actually can see more of it becoming a solid. It's that white material down there that's turning it into a solid. This is what the whole thing will look like as it totally cools down. Okay, but we're trying to wait and see what happens to the temperature. So looks like more of it is turning into a solid. You just gotta be patient. I might be time-lapsing this faster in the fast mode on this part of the video when I show it to you guys in class. Just trying to move it to see. You can see it ajar a little bit on the screen. So I just moved it a little bit, so it did make this little jump when I was moving it. That's each of those times is when I was moving it. Now it's really getting solidified, but I know I didn't help it by moving the thermometer. See how it's getting more and more crystalline inside, turning into a solid. There is still some liquid in there. is still a little bit of liquid, but eventually it's going to be all this off-white type. It's not quite there yet. It's getting there, but it's getting close. Then I want to make it so it cools down even more. I'm just setting the phone down. So I gotta go get my materials ready so I can get home. I wanted to get this video taped. Okay, so it's really solidifying. It's probably predominantly all solid now. There is a little bit, I think, there's a little bit of liquid out here where my pinky's at. You can see some liquid moving around. So it's not fully as solid yet, okay? It does take some time to do this. Just because I didn't put it on ice or make it even colder, it's just doing it in the air. But as you can see, it is coming across right about in the middle of the 50s. So I'm kind of curious to find out what it says online for the melting point and melting and freezing point of stearic acid. But I'm trying to record it so I can let it record a while longer while I'm getting my materials to go home, and just see if this temperature can cool down any more like it's cooling down as a solid. But I'm kind of curious to find out if it will do that as I keep recording. It's still pretty warm, so I'm just going to put it right here with the thermometer, with the test tube as it's recording, and let it take some more time here and let it cool down even more. I'm going to leave it that way for a little bit while I'm getting my materials, okay? it's still, after like, I went away 4 minutes ago, but it's still like pretty much flat here. But I'm really curious to find out as I let it sit here, you know, over this length of time, is it gonna make the temperature even go further lower? So I'm hoping to leave it like this. I just can't videotape. I mean, I could try to videotape some more, but I gotta get out of here for an appointment. So, but I'm gonna leave it here. I wanted to keep recording, but I have to get going. It is cooling down. I'm gonna go maybe get some colder water. Maybe I want to switch it over to some colder water. Maybe it'll go faster. Put it in cold water just to see if it would cool down even faster in the colder water. It is going down. It's now right at 50, but I don't know if I'm distorting it to know, because this I'm pretty sure it's around this range is the cooling, is the solidification or the freezing point for stearic acid. And now now the temperature's changing to get it even colder as I record. I have to get going, so I'm gonna have to stop this recording and then hopefully let it record a little bit more before I walk out the door, and then share that with you guys later. Okay, I'll talk to you later.